Montana gets sold like a postcard. Wide open sky, endless mountains, towns where neighbors still wave. Sounds romantic until you realize some of those towns are surviving on fumes, nostalgia, and one working stoplight. One city here has wind so violent it can rip car doors off their hinges. Another sits on top of a toxic pit that could melt feathers. And yeah, people live there. If you're thinking about relocating, or you're just curious what's really happening beneath the Instagram filters, you need more than real estate listings and tourist brochures. We're ranking 9 Montana cities, from absolute bottom to genuinely livable, using actual data, uncomfortable truths, and the kind of insight your realtor will never mention. One town has an entire underground network of old saloons hiding under Main Street. Another gets so cold, your eyes can literally freeze open. 9. Great Falls. Stalled momentum. Great Falls has 5 stunning waterfalls and 0 momentum. Third largest city in Montana. Should feel bigger. Instead, it's like someone paused the 1990s and forgot to resume. Population 60,000. Median home $240,000. Rent $950. Job growth flatlined. Air Force Base props up the economy. Violent crime 50% higher than national average. You can afford living here, but what are you living for? Not dying, not thriving, just paused. 8. Billings. Functional mediocrity. Billings is Montana's largest city, economic center, most jobs, regional airport, a Costco people drive hours to reach. It's where money moves, where real life happens. But biggest doesn't mean best. It's the city equivalent of a very functional microwave. Population over 117,000. Cost of living 8% higher than national average. Median home $320,000. Rent $1,100. Job market strong in healthcare, energy, retail. Crime rate over 80% higher than US average for violent crime. Billings works. You can find jobs, housing, decent schools, but it doesn't feel like Montana. It feels like it could be Nebraska. Functional, forgettable, with growing skyline and shrinking identity. 7. Miles City. Cowboy. Honesty, Miles City is a time capsule that forgot to close. Built by cattle, dust, rebellion. If Yellowstone had a retirement village, this might be it. Population just over 8,400. Median home $220,000. Rent $750. Cost of living 12% below national average. Crime middle of the pack. Job market centers on agriculture, education, cattle sales. Miles City knows exactly what it is. That honesty counts. It's where time stops. Rodeo season never ends. Nobody locks doors unless blizzard's coming. You'll gain peace. You might lose ambition. The main event involves competitive bull sales. People leave keys and ignitions. Someone will fix your flat tire, buy you a burger, then tell you the exact weight of their cow down to the ounce. 6. Lewistown. Hidden gem. Lewistown sits in the exact dead center of Montana. Population under 6,000. Feels like a Norman Rockwell painting with elk, wheat fields, and stubborn internet. Median home $285,000. Rent around $800. Cost of living 10% below national average. Crime significantly lower than Billings or Great Falls. Job market centers on healthcare, education, agriculture. You can actually see stars here. No light pollution, just pure quiet Montana. Lewistown doesn't want to be discovered, and if it is, what makes it great will vanish. It's Montana without filters. No ski resort gloss, no tech takeover. People wave at every car even if they just waved 5 minutes ago. You wake to golden light over wheat fields. Smell wood smoke. Hear hawks. It's quiet, like read a book in the street quiet. Wi-Fi sucks, but you're breathing. 5. Kalispell. Disciplined growth. Kalispell grew smart. Not too fast, not too slow, just right. Gateway to Glacier National Park. People move here on purpose for rare combo, nature and quality of life. Population 25,000 and climbing steadily. Median home $450,000. Rent $1,400. Cost of living above state average. Job market diverse. Healthcare, education, tourism, small business. Crime lower than Billings. And Great Falls combined. You get stunning views of swan and whitefish ranges. Mountain air, winter snow that feels intentional. Farmers markets, and breweries that taste good. Real seasons. But housing prices climb. Summer brings traffic and tourists. Kalispell's good because people want to live there, which makes it harder to live there. Success isn't accidental, it's intentional. 4. Bozeman, the boomtown. Bozeman's population nearly doubled in the last decade because everyone decided skiing, craft beer, and Zoom calls are life's essence. Once a quiet college town, now a phenomenon. One of fastest growing US cities. Population 58,000. Cost of living 30% higher than national average. Median home often above $700,000. Some reports hitting $870,000. Rent $1,600 plus. Crime slightly above state average. Jaw-dropping scenery, endless outdoor access, buzzing culture, solid airport. But as more chase the cowboy dream, it gets less affordable. You'll pay for views like buying digital art. Homes priced like small castles. Schools bursting. Culture clash between locals. Loving quiet life versus newcomers thinking micro-breweries equal character. Coffee costs more than apartments did 10 years ago. 3. Missoula, intentional living. Missoula is what people imagine when they picture Montana. Smart, weird, outdoorsy, hipster, real. Population 75,000. Big enough to feel alive. Small enough to skip traffic strategy. Cost of living above state average. Median rent $1,400 to $1,600. Job market mixes education, healthcare, tourism, creative gigs, local tech startups. Crime moderate but livable. Quality of life high with vibrant arts, music, trails within minutes, walkable downtown. Missoula isn't trying to be anything. It's just itself. Outdoors, culture, coffee, controversy, community. You can bike to work, surf a river wave at lunch, catch local bands, buy art from makers. But houses aren't cheap. Weather's dramatic. Someone will judge your hiking boots, then invite you for breakfast to discuss why. Missoula isn't perfect. It's messy in the best way, like a library with a drum circle. 2. Livingston, stubborn beauty. Livingston isn't just a Yellowstone stopover. It's a story. Tiny town, big legends. Population around 8,000, but personality feels larger than state lines. Median prices $450,000 to $500,000. Rent $1,400. Cost of living slightly above Montana average. Crime low. Job market mixes tourism, hospitality, creative gigs, independent businesses. Everybody's reason for being here differs, and they don't all get along. It's not harmonious, it's alive. You might move here for music, art, mountains, or the river that looks painted at sunrise. That feeling slips under your skin, becomes part of you. Town where everyone's got a story involving wolves, manuscripts, or questionable tattoos after sunrise beers. Livingston isn't cheap because people choose it. Choices have prices. The wind uses itself like a personality trait. Doesn't just blow, announces itself. 1 minute you're sipping coffee, next your hat's in Helena. Real estate agents don't call houses homes. They call them chapters. 1. Helena, the crown jewel. Helena, Montana, crown jewel of big sky country, where state politics, small-town vibes, mountain air collide in exactly weird but exactly right ways. Not Montana's biggest city, but the one that feels most whole. Population 32,000. Small by capital standards, big enough to feel alive. Median home $470,000. Rent $1,500 to $1,700. Cost of living bit above Montana and national average. Crime runs above state average, but community engagement keeps folks feeling secure. Economy abundant with government jobs, healthcare, local businesses. Helena isn't just another scenic western town. It's the state capital. Purpose baked into DNA. Government buildings, lobbying sessions, public policy collide with classic Montana lifestyle. Your barista might have 2 degrees and duck call collection. Commute takes you past century-old Victorian homes, riverwalk, hiking trail, all in 10-minute loop. Jobs tend stable. Government, law, healthcare, education. Houses hard to find. Rentals creep up yearly. Living here feels like stepping into well-worn novel. Familiar characters, deep roots, unexpected twists. There's rhythm, calm, unhurried, rich in context. You don't move for nightlife. You move because mountains are close enough to touch. History carved into streets. People you meet by chance later invite you to community potlucks and public hearings. Costs rising. Housing not as affordable. But compared to full-blown boom towns, Helena feels achievably real. Town doesn't pretend to be perfect. It pretends to be useful. Often that's more honest.